I know. Hey, what's up guys? Ryanaudencial po. Maraming salamat po sa pagbabalik nyo dito sa channel ko. This is a special day. Not just for me, but for all the Fujifilm users out there. Kahit hindi sa mga Fujifilm users, yung mga nagbabalak ng lumipat na system, yung mga interesado din, of course. This is a special day kasi today we're going to unbox and see here in the Philippines kung ano nga ba yung Fujifilm X-H2s. Pero bago natin simulan to, gusto ko lang magpasalamat sa Fujifilm Philippines dahil binigyan nyo ako ng chance gawin ito. I don't know kung may iba pang gumawa nito dito sa Pilipinas, pero thank you. And by the way, nandito to dahil pinairam ni Fujifilm sa akin. So, I have 3 days to have an overview video of this new camera. I only have 3 days, so bear with me kung hindi masyadong kompleto to, but this is my first look or overview lang naman. Hindi masyadong in-depth to, no? Actually, hindi ko pa to binubuksan talaga. As in, hindi ko pa binubuksan to. Gusto ko maging genuine. Genuine yung aking reaction kapag gusto ko kasama ko kayo habang binubuksan ko siya. So this is just like a quick overview lang. So wag na tayo magpaligoy-ligoy pa. Let's go right into it. Okay, so buksan na natin. Natin ito. These are of course the accessories. So that's your charging brick, your camera strap, a USB-C cable, no? I'm not sure what this is, but I guess this is I'm not sure. Just comment down below kung ano yan. But that's pretty much it for the accessories, no? Dito sa main box na tayo, no? Relax. Quick start guide. Nobody reads those. And dito na tayo sa main event. Fujifilm, I love you. So, for our main event, first look dito sa Pilipinas. I'm not sure kung ako lang gumagawa nito ngayon. First look na isang Tagalog or Pinoy reviewer. Ayaw pa buksan eh. Ito na. Fujifilm X-H2s. Alright. So, there you have it. Man! Look! Thumbnail my face! This is the X-H2s. Nakita ko pa lang, no? Hinawakan ko pa lang yung grip. The grip is better than the XS10. On this side, nandyan pa rin ang inyong mga may button doon. May button dito, of course, to release the lens. Button here. And, oh, look at this. Dito tayo sa side na to. Sa side na to. On this side, we have, I knew it. Man, look at that beauty. Man, that is a full-sized HDMI ports. So you will not be using the freaking small micro HDMI cables anymore because you will be using your standard sized HDMI cable. Thank God you did this. Thank you so much, Fuji. And on this side, I don't know if you can see it, we have a headphone out ports. There you go. And a mic in. So those are both 3.5mm audio jacks. So, ang maganda dito, no, unlike sa X-T4, isa sa mga gripe ko sa X-T4, by the way, and XS10, yung headphone port nila ay hindi included sa side. Kailangan mo pang gumamit ng USB-C to 3.5mm female audio adapter. This one, you won't be needing that USB-C to 3.5mm. That's really thoughtful, no? And let's see. Yes! This has a flippy screen. Really helpful for us content creators and filmmakers and vloggers, lalong-lalo na kasi naman. Kaya ako ginawa yon kasi I want to see if haharang at least yung microphone jack sa LCD screen. Hindi. Okay, that's really thoughtful of you, Fuji guys. This one naman is your USB-C na to charge the camera and to transfer data na rin and to make it a webcam. I'm sure magagamit mo tayo sa webcam, pero this is one hell of a webcam, no? Gagamitin mo lang to as a webcam. And sa pang napansin ko ngayon lang, kanina ko pa siya binubuksan, they didn't use the soft flaps. These are doors. No? Doors yan, hindi yan flaps. Which is good. Dito naman tayo sa side na to. Isang malaking misteryo rin to eh. Siyempre, if you are a filmmaker, let's see kung anong media ang gagamitin niya. You guys ready? Oh! You have your dual card slots, pero magkaiba. Tama ba ako? Let me see. Oh, yeah. You have dual card slots. On your card slot number 2 is an SD card slot, which is yung ordinaryong SDXC or SD cards na ginagamit natin. Pero yung card slot number 1 is for CF Express Type B. CF Express Type B is different from Type A, of course. Express Type B is the bigger one, no? Kaysa sa Type A. Dito pa lang, no? Tells so much about its capabilities when it comes to recording data or recording footages. Dito muna tayo sa ilalim. Let's see kung anong gagamitin niyang battery. Oh, thank you, Fuji guys. This camera is using the same battery na ginagamit ni X-T4. Marami akong ganito. So, thank you. Uy, mag-upgrade na. Hindi pa nga nare-release sa Pilipinas. And yes, you can charge this while using it. Of course, using the Type-C. Of course, you have your X mount here. And I am still looking at crop sensor. No? I'm not sure kung anong sensor to. This is a crop size sensor, pero I heard it is a new sensor. Alright, dito sa side na to, you have your D-pads, you have your OK or menu button, you have your display back, just like an X-T4 Q button, and your AEL button. You have your joystick right here. It's clickable, and AF button, your dial right here, you have your playback button, you have your drive or your trash button here. On this side, you have, you have your MASP and filter, and you have 7 customizable modes. And we have, I don't know if you can see that, no? We have a display here, just like in the GFX series, na meron tayong display dito sa taas. And kahit nakapatay yung camera, makikita mo yung level nung battery mo dito. Okay, you have here on top one button right here, a white balance button, an ISO button, your record button, which is pretty dang good kasi hindi ka na magsha-shutter, no? Your on and off switch and your shutter right here. You have your eyepiece, viewfinder right here, you have your view mode here, and your brightness sa inyong view mode. You have your, of course, your cold shoe, hot shoe there. Isa pa nga palang napansin ko, no? Hindi siya kagaya ng X-T4 na may mga manual dials. Parang video-centric talaga itong X-H2s kasi wala siyang manual dials. So, you have your S there. Okay. So, this again is the X-H2s. So, that's how it looks like. When it comes to build quality, I guess this is weather sealed, no? Kasi parang saradong-sarado, no? Parang pwede mong ilublob sa hindi pwede ilublob sa tubig. So, you have your Fujifilm X-H2s right there. And isa pa, maliban sa camera body, meron silang ni-release na bagong lente. This is the Fujinon XF18 to 120mm f4. LM din siya, linear motor din siya, so hindi maingay yung autofocus niya. It has a 72mm thread. Some of you might know, no? I'm not a prime lens type of filmmaker. I am a zoom lens type of guy. And this focal range, yung 18 to 120 is very versatile, I should say. This has servo zoom. Meron siyang power zoom. And okay na okay siya sa gimbal kasi magaan. Magaan siya. And pag ina-adjust mo yung focal range niya, yung barrel niya, fixed lang. That's amazing. So again, this is the Fujinon XF 18 to 120mm f4 LMPZ WR lens. So I will be using these guys, no, along with my X-T4 para ipakita sa inyo ano ba yung mga capabilities or yung specs or features nitong Fujifilm X-H2s pagdating sa video. So, samahan nyo ako sa nagsasasambal. 1, 2, 3, 4!
Lunch dates and coffee breaks, Tuesdays and random days. It's how we spend the worst days of our lives. Your sister doesn't like me much. Your father thinks that I'm a nut. Your son and daughter just don't wanna choose.
Okay, so ang mga panlaban ng mga flagship cameras ngayon ng iba't ibang brands ay yung resolution, no? And yung frame rates. Ngayon titingnan natin kung ano yung capabilities nitong Fujifilm X-H2s. First, ang pinaka highest resolution na meron siya is 6.2K. Yes, 6.2K, hindi lang 4K, 6.2K. So syempre, mas malaking numero, mas malaking resolution. Sa 6.2K, meron tayong 29 or 30 frames per second, 24 frames per second, and 3.2 po ang aspect ratio, no, ng ating 6K, no? Yun ang pinakamalaking resolution and frame rates ng 6K. It can also shoot 4K and 120 frames per second in SNQ mode. Meaning, SNQ mode wala siyang audio, but it can record up to 120 frames per second. 4K. Wait lang, i-check ko lang kung may crop na yung 4K 120. Again, this is unfiltered, no? Hindi ako biased. Tingnan mo nga, tandaan mo yung framing, yung mga edges, tandaan mo nga, para malaman natin kung may crop. Okay, natandaan mo na siya. Okay, meron. May crop na may crop siya, pero
a little bit.
I'm not sure kung gaano kalaki yung crop. So again, this has 4K 120 frames per second, 4K 60 frames per second, 30 frames per second, and 24 frames per second. So yun yung mga malalaki niyang frame rates. Okay, in 1080 naman, you still have your 200 frames per second and 120 frames per second in 1080p. So those are the resolutions na bago or meron ang Fujifilm X-H2s.
Pagdating naman sa autofocus performance, napansin kong mas nag-improve ang autofocus capabilities nitong X-H2s compared to the X-T4. Lalong-lalo na at gamit ko itong native lens na 18-120. Never akong na-miss out nito, lalong-lalo na yung pogi kong pagmumuka. Dito naman ang gamit ko is yung Sigma 18-135 1.8. Kung mapapansin nyo, medyo naiiwan niya ang aking mukha pagdating sa autofocus performance dahil nga hindi native lens ang gamit ko and I am using the Fringer EFX Pro 2. So, medyo may delay ang autofocus nito.
Pagdating naman sa battery life, since pareha sila ng battery ni X-T4, no? Feeling ko mas okay ang battery life nito kasi sa X-T4 nakapalit na ng isa. Ito hindi pa. So, feeling ko lang, no? Mas tipid to sa baterya. Okay, so as I've said earlier, no, the Fujifilm X-H2s has two types of media storage or pwede kang gumamit ng two types of media cards, no? One is an SD card. And by the way, the Fujifilm X-H2s records 10-bit footage, just like an X-T4. If you're using your SD card, you can record H.265 all intra 420 MOV. You can also record H.265 long GOP 420 MOV. You can record H.265 all intra 422, H.265 long GOP 422. So that's the recording modes if you're using your SD card. Now let's go to the CF Express Type B card. If you're using that, mas mama-maximize mo yung capabilities ng X-H2s mo. Now you can record all that I've said dun sa SD card recording modes. But if you're using your CF Express Type B, you can record ProRes. Yes, ProRes. Internal recording ng ProRes. You can record ProRes HQ, 10-bit of course, and ProRes 422 and ProRes LT, a smaller version ng ProRes. Wala pa akong nakitang ganun sa ibang brands. Sony doesn't have that. A7S III, correct me if I'm wrong kung may ProRes siya, pero I know wala.
Now, if you want to record through HDMI, you can record ProRes RAW 12-bit and compatible din siya sa Blackmagic RAW externally.
Okay, let me tell you a little something about the brand new lens from Fuji. It's the 18-120mm f4 constant aperture lens, no? All I can say is sobrang nagugustuhan ko siya for video kasi it has a focus and zoom control, no, na rocker adjustment siya or rocker knob. Though this has f4, no, it still caters to my needs since pag sobrang zoom in na, kung hanap mo yung bokeh, meron naman na. And lightweight siya and weather sealed. Okay, so sa lens na to, may button dito, Z and F. Pag pinindot mo yan, ang gagamitin mo lang dyan, itong rocker, pwedeng zoom lang. Then pag pinindot mo ulit, focus naman ang makokontrol mo. Maganda yan since focus by wire to. Kasi minsan pagka focus by wire, hindi mo matansya yung mismo yung accurate numbers ng ng zoom mo tsaka ng focal length mo. Pagdating naman sa picture profile, may bago ring picture profile itong X-H2s. Meron tayong tinatawag na F-Log2. Kung mapapansin nyo, no, itong F-Log2 ay mas maputla or mas flat kaysa sa F-Log1. Meaning, mas malaki ang dynamic range nito compared dun sa original F-Log. Mas mataas na dynamic range mula sa F-Log2, ibig sabihin, mas flexible ang inyong material pagdating sa color grading. Okay, ngayon susubukan ko namang gamitin tong X-H2s sa pagbablog para matesting yung image stabilization niya. No? Pakita ko sa bundok. Alright. Let's go.
12 seconds later.
Pagod na ako. Kaya na umusga, no? Dun sa kanyang image stabilization. Dahil di ko masyadong nakikita. Ano, Jesse? Kaya pa? Pasensya na ako kung nakasando ko, no? Pero nasa beach tayo eh. Ano yung gamit mo? Ang
Gamit ko ay Sony A64 with a Amaran 17-28 f2.8 constant
Nakantete.
from ryanaudencial.
O binigay ko sa kanya yung lente, no? Sony kasi yan. So, nagpalit na ako ng system eh.
Fuji
Na ako eh. So, pasensya na kayo. Sorry guys. Pero Fuji na ako. Now, ang final thoughts ko sa camera na to, una-una ko naiisip is, coming from X-T4, kailangan ko ba siya? For me, honestly, parang hindi pa sa ngayon. No, pero sobrang sold na kasi ako sa X-T4, pero hindi ko matanggihan yung 4K 120 frames per second. Lalo na I am a sports documentarist. High speed lahat ng mga sinushoot ko. X-T4 has this 4K 60 and this one also has this 4K 60, but it has 4K 120. And for future proofing, of course, this one is a new camera. This has 6K. I'm torn na kung kailangan ko na ba siya o hindi. Pero if I have the coin or if I have the budget, of course, bibili ko dito. Pero for now if you're gonna ask me, do I recommend the Fujifilm X-H2s? Yes. No, it's about time na mag-jump ship from your other system. Kasi ako talagang fully pledged Fujifilm na ako and hindi na ako babalik. Now, if you're a beginner, siguro this is not for you. This is for the professional filmmakers. Maybe you can start with the XS10 if you're just starting out. Pero dun sa gusto isang bilihan na lang at may budget naman, kunin nyo na. X-H2s. Once again, I wanna thank Fujifilm PH for letting me test this out, and I am truly honored to be part of the embargo ngayong release nitong Fujifilm X-H2s. Maraming salamat Fujifilm Philippines. Special shoutout to Sean C and Glenn and V. Maraming salamat, no? Sobrang na-enjoy ko tong kamerang to. Sobra. And of course, the Fujinon 18 to 120mm. Maraming salamat dahil pinatesting nyo to. Now, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already and click that bell as well. Once again, this has been ryanaudencial. Thanks so much for being here and see you in the next video.